Sister, hello. We're on the air. This is my second try at responding to you. The last one took like 11 minutes, and your message was only 7 minutes. So, anyway, I'm going to try to do it right this time. Hello. So, this is a video for me to talk to you as if you're my sister. My sister Maya, who has made her own video to me. I'll link it in the comments, not comments, but the description. And so I have a lot to say in response, Maya, to everything that you've said in the last video. I have an agenda. The agenda is, number one, to thank you. Number two, to describe my own circumstances, just like you have politely done about your circumstances. Three, I want to talk about you've got kids. That's awesome. Okay, and four, I want to talk about the argument for universal consciousness, or collective unconsciousness, or collective consciousness. Burping. And five, I have a super secret magic question for you. Yes. Anyway, so to get started, I would like to say thank you, Maya, for actually doing the thing, which is putting a video of yourself on the internet. And we keep on saying that we want to share our chats with the world because we think there's something cool to say in this sister connection we have. Thank you for getting that started. I keep on saying I will, and I kind of been waiting for you because, you know, your circumstance is just as weird as mine. So, for those of you who have not seen her video, she had been mentioning that she has just left Islam and her husband and has 3 kids, and that's kind of a lot. She's doing that out in Michigan. I, on the other hand, live nomadically in San Francisco, and I have like a whole bunch of polyamorous partners. I'm super atheist, it's just free-thinking, modern, hippie, techie people. That's my people. And so I'm kind of in the radical, extreme progressive front. But I came this way by means of having been fairly conservative in my early life choices, getting married to my first boyfriend, and although we were still like atheists and stuff, we kind of kept that monogamous for a long time and just kind of followed a somewhat traditional path. And then things kind of changed with me, and I felt like it was important for me to experience more things, and then I left the coop, the husband coop, about 2 years ago, and I've been, primarily staying at places for like one night at a time for the last 2 years. It's been amazing. I live with this little backpack. I can show you my backpack. It's not that big. It's got everything Alila needs. I have some sarongs stored here at this particular partner's house. But yeah, apparently people like to install infrastructure to secure my existence. Also, I think what's kind of interesting, I've got my crazy poly-nomad lifestyle, and she's got her 3 kids just, trying to figure it out after Islam and husband situation. But we both were raised Hindu. Like, the fact is that we're sisters, so we're in the same household. And we also were exposed to some pretty different philosophical structures than the Western ideology. And that kind of comes up over and over again in my life. I think we can talk about that later. Sister, can you jump on that topic? I think that's really important to talk about, but I'm not sure how yet. Okay, that's done. Okay, next thing on the agenda is that you have kids. Oh my god. And they're watching Power Rangers. We never watched Power Rangers. We played way too much Myst. We were way, psychological adventure, oh my god, alternate dimension kind of creatures, and not kill the bad guy, win the adventure. We just never had that narrative for ourselves. So it's kind of empowering to see these kids get empowered by something that we were always above. We're always the psychological thrill, not the not the, I don't know, adrenaline rush. And so I'm really happy that you get to, see that through your kids' eyes, and figure out what that means to you for not having been a Power Ranger kid. Yeah. So let's talk about universal collective consciousness. Oh, that's a funny thing to talk about so early in our chats, sister. Well, I would say it exists. Maybe not in the, like, I walked down the street and we all felt connected together and no one had problems with anyone ever again. We're not there yet. But I could say that, I mean, if you look at the daytime cycle of someone's psychology, there are times, I think, in which people are a little bit more on the same page, like maybe when they're sleeping or like hungry or thirsty, and like those are the things that really unite the human experience. And especially when people are potentially, like my hypothesis is that when people are sleeping and dreaming, they're, like figuring out the messages of their day and potentially are coming up with like similar solutions about how to handle the world. Like I know a lot of people who are really evolving on their thoughts about like feminism and class consciousness and like hierarchy and capitalism all at the same time. Like I could try to make them talk to each other, but that would be like taking them away from their beds. Like they need to sleep on it. They need to think about it and sleep on it. And then one day when they've got a little bit more of a congealed thought, I can say, oh, by the way, like there's a million other people on the same page, which kind of puts me in my perception of myself as someone who's like watching all of these different, like revolutions of thought come forward. And I mean, I am surprised by a lot of them, or like, I feel like there's more on those topics than I ever imagined, but I also feel kind of resolved, like past like caring about so much of the things that people care about right now, just because of like, oftentimes it's about demonizing each other than necessarily like understanding what they're trying to say or like appreciating the fragility of their experience. So now that we've got to 7 minutes, I'm like really tied with you in terms of length. I'm going to hurry up and go to the last bullet point, number 5, which is a question for you, sister, to answer, please. What is something you've learned lately? I would like to give an example of what I've learned, which is that there's certain kinds of omega-3s that people who are raised vegetarian, say if you were raised Hindu like us, you need to make sure that you get all of your fatty acids in your body, for normal like skin health and shit. And so I finally found a vegetarian source of all the omega-3s that we usually would get through fish oil, and my skin does, in fact, work better. So if you have not done that, you should do it. You should make sure you're attending to the oils that you're consuming. And sister, can you please give me something you've learned lately too? Because you learn a lot, and I'm really excited to see what you come up with. Will it be like quantum theory or something? I don't know. Come on, give it to me, sister. I want to be surprised. Anyway, love you, sister. Arr, Maya, goodbye. See you in the next video.